Leave my phone in here.
Around the chairs, the devices are meant to capture sound. So
is it more difficult to capture sound in a place like an Olive Garden or a restaurant than it would be, say, inside a vehicle or on the phone?
A lot more difficult.
So was this a challenge that you all had to face whenever you were doing this investigation?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I got close to y'all. It's kind of like, like I told you at the beginning, I can't be close to anybody because it compromises everything. So I brought in friends, and I need the best attorney set up. He will be taking care of everything. And I'll be out of town for an alibi because my guys, you said you got good. Yeah. So, this one.
Who's that voice that we hear talking right there?
That's Zach.
It's Zach. And who's sitting at the table at this point?
It's Zach, Valerie McDaniels, the defendant, and myself.
So the person that we heard at the beginning of the recording that said, "Hi, I'm Valerie," is that Valerie McDaniel?
Yes, it was.
What kind of table are you sitting at in the Olive Garden? Kind of set the stage for us.
We're in a corner booth. You enter the Olive Garden where the greeter sits, and we made a right turn, and we're in the deep corner, sitting in a booth.
Okay, and what was the arrangement inside the booth? How were you all sitting?
I was sitting on one end of the booth, and then Zach was to my right, and then to his right was Valerie, and to her right was the defendant.
So was the defendant, because it was a booth, and I envision a round booth, was he sort of sitting across the table from you?
Correct.
Okay. When we listen to the recording, are there times where the defendant lowers his voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is he lowering his voice?
Because there are people around us, and he's going to discuss something he doesn't want anybody else to hear.
So that calls for an absolute conclusion on the part of this officer about the mindset of the defendant at the time.
Well, I sustain that, but I would allow the state to rephrase its question.
Yes, Judge. Are there times...
And it made the jury be instructed to disregard the content of that previous question and the comment of the officer.
Instructed to disregard that answer.
Are there times in the recording where the defendant drops his voice to a whisper?
Yes, there are.
And what are the topics of conversation during the times when the defendant drops his voice to a whisper?
It's when he brings up the complainant Megan and what he wants done with her.
Do that, folks. And he will, he's the best. I know. He's done a good job. So, all right. So, yeah. So let's enjoy some lunch, talk, each other. Everything's good. How's work? What?
Pretty gentleman surgery today.
Oh, really? Is it because of this?
No, somebody told me about the first gentleman surgery.
Oh, really?
Well, I had supposed to be stuff to take care of, so I had to report this morning that I had to see the patients, so we had to hurry a little bit.
You did what?
See some patients and hurry a little bit so she finished her surgery. My computer ready.
I didn't get to that. I will get it done. You know how much trouble, you put me through. It's a lot of stuff to clean up.
That's fine. I had the phone for you. I found the
You found the phone? Okay, that's great. That's
So
good.
but I think that I deleted the messages that she sent me from there, but they're on here.
Somebody, it might be able to extract them.
Yeah.
Talk about,
Yeah.
so so somebody can extract them?
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe later tonight I can meet you and give it to you. I forgot to bring it this time.
Well,
I just totally forgot about it.
This is the thing. I'm gonna minimize meeting you up with after.
That's fine.
Because
You got it.
it's a lot of heat and I want to make sure everything goes great,
Okay. It's gonna happen this week though, right?
Good. He'll talk about this. Okay, sure. He takes care of everything. But if you,
I can leave it for you.
you might be able to get it for me too.
That's fine.
He'll get it for you and he can
Just give it to you.
just take it off.
I need the computer back though.
I gotta get to it.
You gotta wipe it though. I need it though because I need to
I really gotta get to it. As soon as I get to it, I promise you, I'll bring it to you. I'll bring you the flash drive and I'll put you the software and everything's great. But you really worried about that right now, for real?
Well,
We need to
Yeah.
I told you that. You see this? Very good.
I'm not restless. I have some research that I have.
You have to. That's what, for real. So, because really,
What should we call it?
Just call me A for now.
Okay, so we hear in there that you tell him to call you A for now. Why do you tell him that?
Just an alias, something that he can call me by, for me not to use my name.
So throughout the course of your investigation, does the defendant continue to refer to you as A?
Yes, at one point he also calls me Adam.
Okay.
Nice to meet you guys.
Now, I made a mistake, and I became close to you, and I really like you, and I want to keep the friendship and everything. But with him, I do not want you to do the same thing.
No problem.
All right? So business on. Okay.
Hey, what are we gonna do?
It's going to depend on you.
Okay, it's going to depend on you. Why do you phrase it that way?
I want him to tell me what it is that he wants. I don't want him to think that I'm putting anything in his head.
Okay.
I want to sweet. I don't want to hurt. I just want to know. I've always sort of slightly loved her because she stood by me. What I went through years ago, but I don't want her hurt or and either that or I want her in trouble. I don't want her.
Okay.
That's an option. I prefer that not be the option.
You were smoking.
So right here. He talks to you about what he wants, and he's saying, I don't want her to be hurt. I don't want her to be hurt. What are you thinking at this point in the investigation?
At this point, and it's still really early in the investigation. I've just met him, and I'm thinking to myself that he's not comfortable talking to me yet. So
do you make a suggestion to him?
I can't remember if it's after this point.
At some point, do you ask him to step outside with you?
I do.
What's the purpose of having him step outside the restaurant with you?
I felt like he would be more open to talk to me freely if we were outside, away from other people.
But you saw it. You want to slow it?
Yeah, just in case. Leave the phones are here.
It's going to be about 8 years.
I'm sorry? No.
Officer Duran, there we hear the defendant ask you, I'm going to have to ask you to cover my bases. You're not a cop, right?
Correct.
So when he asks you that question, what are you thinking at that point?
That he doesn't want to be recorded, or he might tell me something that is illegal.
Okay.
I would ask you the same, but I trust my staff with my life. I'm a surgeon. I trust him with my whole life. I'm a surgeon. So he's done a lot of things for me.
What are you thinking?
It's really going to depend on what you want. It's going to depend on what you need done.
I need, you guys have already paid. I need it done quickly, and I need a couple of things. I need 2 emails from her. I don't know if we told you about that.
No.
Yeah, I need some emails sent from her to my email.
Okay.
Telling me she loves me, she's sorry about all this, and leave her time. That kind of shit. And I need a relief.
Okay.
But I need a relief now. There's already a fucking no contact order. I want her gone. I want her to leave.
I know about the no contact order. So we do know where she works.
Yeah, I know where she lives.
You know where she lives.
What are you going to do?
Well, that's the problem. When you say leave, I'm not exactly sure what you want. I mean, what I've done in the past, it might not be what you want.
What have you done in the past?
I've hurt people.
I don't want you to hurt her, but I want her to go. I want her to leave town, go back to Pittsburgh. That's what I want.
And not come back.
Ever. I wanted to meet with her. It doesn't make any sense what happened. We were together for 2.5 years, stood by me through so much shit. And then we had this terrible fight. She took off to my mom's house. Mom, I don't know what he told you, but Mom, come over here, fix this. I don't want her here. So Mom's a big lawyer here. I'm a pretty prominent doctor. And, I also work with an insurance company. But, and she freaked out, pulled up furniture and the money out of our accounts. She told the cops that I fucking hit her. I didn't touch her. Never touched her once. But she needs to go. Because I've got a pretty high-powered attorney who would cost me a pretty fucking penny. But I've had her delay or push the hearings because what I'm going to do is once she's gone, I'm going to have to redo the PO hearing. I have to do that. I'm going to have to do a expedited trial. If she doesn't show up, it's done. But I need those emails.
And you need to be sent from her account.
I'm pretty computer savvy myself. My brother's an engineer. I can do some stuff, but
myself because I can't have it come back to me. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you send these emails from her account saying, Leon, I love you, miss you, just need some time, yada, yada, yada. Do you have a plan for that? An idea how I'm supposed to get into her email? That's up for you guys. Have to give it to Abraham to do that. I'm sorry? Give it to Abraham to do that. He probably can. That's more of his area. I'm not going to open them. I'm going to have my lawyer open them. I see. So if I have any open, anything from her email, it's considered a contact. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the emails, text me, and then I'll have my lawyer have her open them up, give her a password and stuff, and she can open them up and look at them. Okay, so you were saying in there you don't want her hurt unless she needs to be?
Okay, so you refer back to the conversation that you had inside the Olive Garden, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it fair to say that at that time the defendant gave you the three options he was considering? One, he wanted her to go away, or two, he'd prefer her not to be hurt, but if he had to be, he'd be okay with it.
Correct.
Okay. At this point, he's talking to you about some emails. He wants you to send an email. Are you thinking whether or not, are you concerned whether or not this is actually a solicitation case at this point?
At this point, I was.
Okay, what were you thinking?
I was thinking that, maybe he was just stalking her and not trying to have her killed at the time.
Okay. And did the conversation continue on?
It did.
And while you're outside speaking with him at the Olive Garden, did he say something that caught your interest?
He did.
Okay. And are we going to hear that here in just a second?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's the only option. I mean, that's going to be completely up to you. I don't think you have to hurt her. I think she'll go. She was supposed to go already. Did he tell you? No. She was supposed to go already, but the DA got to her. Had her under protective watch for a while. And he told me that part. They give me that's gone. Yeah. Probably because you're staying away from her. And what's your idea? You're ex-Navy SEAL, right? Technically petty officer, second class, counterintelligence, covert operations, things like that. I worked with them. I've done the government too. I operate with them. I'm an unlicensed, temporary licensed position at all times. So I can be very discreet too. I'm talking to you very honestly with Abraham, but I've operated in Guantanamo Bay a bunch of times. I'm a transplant surgeon. Every once in a while they call me in to keep people functioning so they can get information out of them. Okay. I just need to take care of it now. What was this retrovirus thing? The what? The virus thing?
So he asked you about a virus thing. What are you thinking he's referring to at that point?
I thought he was talking about a computer virus.
Okay. Did you later learn that that's not what he was talking about?
I did.
Okay, we'll get to that.
If it's got to do with computers, that's going to be for him. No, I meant with her dad. I have no idea about her dad. Yeah, no. I have no idea about her dad. I'm just here for her. She's my only objective as far as I know. How soon can you take care of this? Realistically, as soon as the right opportunity opens up. Pretty easy. Preferably by herself. She goes to work. Probably she's got a fucking roommate now. A girl named Jen. Who's from Pittsburgh. He's been best friends for like 15 years. She moved down here shortly after we did. I guess she lives there now. Abraham told me there's another man involved in it. She's just by herself. As far as you know. Yeah, he filled me in on something about the roommate. I know my objective. I just need to mention it's just a little different. I don't want to know the details. Another what? I don't need to know the details. I just want it to happen. This is a little different from what I thought.
I get it. Alternatively, you could find some drugs in the car or something like that, have it pulled over. That would be your job too.
Okay, so has he just presented you with now a second option?
Yes.
Okay, so first option being, I want her to go to Pittsburgh and not come back. And now option number 2 is, could you just plant some drugs in her car, something like that? Could that be your job too?
Correct.
Okay, so at this point, he hasn't said anything about having her killed or murdered or hurt or anything like that, right?
Yes.
So are you still of the position that you're not quite sure whether or not this is going to be a solicitation case?
That is correct.
Okay, and at this point in the conversation, is this where you kind of are pulled back in when you start talking to him about this is a little bit different than what I normally do?
It is.
I mean, that's always possible. It's just, a little different from what we're used to. I know what you do. Yeah.
So he said, I know what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you take that to mean?
That he knows I'm a hitman.
And had you told him earlier in the conversation that you had hurt people before?
I did.
Why didn't you just say, I've killed people before?
I was afraid that would trigger something, an alarm in his head to think, is this guy a cop? Why is he talking like this?
So after you say, hey, this is a little bit different than what I'm used to, and he says, I know what you do, you start thinking, okay, maybe this is a solicitation case. You're back in it.
Correct.
Okay.
I think that you can get her to go. I don't know how you're going to do that, but you guys do that.
Well, nothing's impossible. It's just different. I think he mentioned once about staging an accident.
That was supposed to happen the morning of the PO hearing, I guess. I don't know. It didn't happen.
Okay.
I mean, but I need to take care of
Okay. Let's go back inside and I'll talk to Zach in a little bit. We're not on time crunch anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
So you can, okay, cool. That's cool. Alright. Everything is good?
Yeah. Just when you see talking.
Okay. Okay, I mean, like I said, he's,
You said that's yours supposed to be.
I can work. I'm gonna talk about it and see what we can do. It's a teamwork.
Yeah, no, I understand. But as far as you say, they said it's not a problem. In a couple of days, it should be okay. But we also how you doing? Yeah, it's looking good. Don't eat ice cream in his car.
Yep.
That's true.
That's true. Who wants to go?
Yeah, we eat. Honestly, I haven't even looked at the menu. Can I have a grilled chicken sandwich? A grilled chicken sandwich? Yeah. We have a chicken parmesan, so you can make it grilled. I never eat here. I was just there last week. Chicken.
And they had a
No ranch.
completely different.
Spicy, okay? That's fine.
Wow. I think I know what I want.
If you want to pull with me later and get your butt kicked.
That's not gonna happen.
That makes sense.
What are you getting?
I'm gonna get the pasta, the chicken Alfredo.
You got it.
Same.
Two.
Oh, the same.
So we have to go to 5.
Yeah, that's fine.
2, we have to go to 5. We win. $20 on it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna lose. Come on, stop pushing that. I mean, just because you won 2 lucky games, I gave you a chance.
He's hustling. We'll see.
Okay, I hear you guys starting to kind of have some casual conversation. Tell me what you start to talk about.
We're talking about just regular things, nothing in particular about the investigation.
And why are you doing that? I mean, I know that there's some talking here about maybe a pool game. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you engaging in this casual conversation? Why are you allowing that to occur?
It's important for me as undercover to make the target, the defendant, feel comfortable. It can't be all about trying to gather evidence as soon as possible.
And so do y'all spend quite a bit of time just having some casual conversation across the table at the Olive Garden?
We do.
Okay. So I'm going to fast forward to about an hour into the conversation where y'all pick up talking again about the defendant and what he wants done, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Be difficult.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be difficult.
That's why I brought up the discussion. It's gonna be difficult to do it. I explained that to you.
Can't you just picture him and get arrested?
No.
Okay, so he's lowering his voice at this point. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
And so at this point, he goes back to option 2. Can't you just plant drugs in her car and get her arrested? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and do you tell him, like, there's some risk in doing so?
I do.
Okay.
The case is, you have a stalking case.
It's all gonna go away in 2 weeks.
I don't know,
Okay, so he lowers his voice considerably there.
Yes.
Does he tell you at that point, does he give you another option?
Yes, he did.
And is that option snag her? And does he say, snag her, put her in her fucking room and tell her, if you don't fucking leave, I'm going to kill her parents?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so Zach asks, what if she doesn't listen? And what's his response to that?
I believe he said, if you have to do it, then we do it. But I want to fucking do it.
And what did you take that to mean?
That if we have to kill her, he wants to be the one to kill her.
Did that surprise you?
No.
Okay.
you say what?
You have to do that. I want to.
You want to do it?
Fuck yeah. If she won't listen.
It's
Your decision.
It's your decision.
I'm Tracy.
Okay, so he gives you now another option, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
He talks to you about injecting her with potassium chloride, right?
Yes.
Did he say inject her with potassium chloride, stop her heart, untraceable?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
Okay, and what do you say to that? You say it's up to you?
It's your decision.
Okay, why don't you say, yeah, that's a great idea?
I didn't say that because I wanted to give him kind of a chance to talk a little bit more.
Okay.
It's up to you.
He's the expert.
Yeah. I'm just telling you, when it comes to that, you'll be worried about it. I'll do it. Because they're all potassium chloride. All this stuff.
Do you have that stuff?
I don't have access to it yet.
have access to a pharmacy. Valerie has a pharmacy, she has a pharmacy at the front.
Yeah, if you want to give it to me.
I don't want that if we don't have to do that. I prefer not to do that. But my survival is more important.
Okay, so just so we're clear, there's now 3 options on the table, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Option A, make her go back to Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Option B, get her arrested, plant cocaine in her car, and then she lacks credibility, right?
Yes.
And now option 3, will inject her with potassium chloride and stop her heart.
Correct.
Does he tell you, I prefer you not to do that?
Yes, he does.
But does he follow that up with, but my survival is more important?
He does.
And does he say, look, I'm not a pompous asshole, but I'm not the dumbest guy in the world?
Yes, he does.
So does that indicate to you that while he's indicating to you and saying things like, I prefer, is he following that up with things like, but my survival is more important?
He is.
Leading the witness, Your Honor. She's testifying. That's a little.
That's like a pompous asshole. I'm not the dumbest guy in the world. So I was able to get, contact with the DA see it, which I knew they wouldn't see it. It's public knowledge. Because of that, I was able to get their hearing set for that. If she no-shows for that, everything else that's my honest. Just because if she no-shows to one thing,
Well, my problem is that you made a lot of sense, and that's why I brought him to this. So, I don't know what options you have. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's gonna be your decision.
I mean, what's to say that that's going to stop her from going back to police custody?
if she's scared enough, she was uneducated, never graduated college. I took her out of lower middle class.
But she,
Okay, does he say if she's scared enough, he thinks she'll leave, right?
Correct.
But he says she's uneducated, never graduated college. He says, I took her out of the lower middle class.
That's correct.
What does that indicate to you?
That she's not that important to him. That he believes himself to be more important.
at the beginning, she came back and she went to police custody.
So this is the DA partner.
So, what if they do the same thing?
They're not going to. She's going to push it up. Because the problem is, you option C, you know that I'm getting kicked up immediately.
So he says again, option C, right?
Yes.
What's his concern with option C?
That it's going to get back to him.
Okay.
Well, there's ways to stop it, make it look different.
Just about me to do bad shit. If you don't have to do that, I would report that. She doesn't listen.
This is completely up to you.
She doesn't listen. Then we have to go there. Now, if she doesn't listen, it has to happen.
Okay, so again, he's back to option C. Is that fair? And he says, look, I prefer it not happen, but if she doesn't listen, then we're going to have to go that route.
Correct.
What has to happen, if it has to happen, it'll happen.
Correct.
Okay.
See, the problem is there's no assurance. There's no assurance that it's going to. As soon as I leave, let her go. What's to stop her from running back to the police or running to the APA's office?
Can we escort her out of the state?
There's a lot of liability in that.
Wow. No, the people are gonna be showing, and I told you at the beginning, we're not close.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
She knows everything. I'm marrying her in 2 months. She's also. Congratulations.
Okay, so Leon says she knows everything. Who's he referring to?
Miss McDaniel.
And he said, did he tell you something about the two of them getting married?
Yes, he did.
What did he say about that?
That they were going to get married in 2 months, I believe.
And did he say why he felt comfortable discussing what he wanted to have happen to Megan in front of her?
He did because he said she knew everything already.
So,
I just need it to happen, whatever happens, needs to happen now. Because I want to expect it to be suspended my criminal license, which has already been suspended. And because I had to withdraw my criminal applications, my insurance license enough money to do that. He's now at risk. But I can't expedite. Everything goes away, right? They want the witness. I didn't know this. I didn't stop her. I've been doing this shit. The DA's got a hold on me because of who I am and my feelings. They're after a certain reason. It's gotta happen, it's gotta happen. I would, because people mistake. It's like an opportunity for her to get herself in some trouble. She pulled over that's part of the way too. She's not a better witness.
Okay, so back to the options again, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So does he talk to you again? Is he concerned about, first off, is he concerned about his medical license?
He is.
And is he concerned about the effects of the felony cases that he has pending and the effect that it'll have on his medical license?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he also somewhat concerned about how it's going to affect his insurance license?
Yes.
Why is he waiting on expediting the trial for those charges? What's he waiting for?
He's waiting for her to disappear so she can testify.
And does he tell you that, look, I don't want her hurt, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen?
Yes, he did.
Second option, he says, get her in trouble, get her pulled over with some cocaine. Did he say that?
He did.
Okay, so back to option A, B, and then C. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Correct.
Okay.
okay, we can think of, that's your choice. That's your decision.
Those options don't work. I don't give a fuck. Then you gotta do. I need this for that.
Okay, so did he just talk to you about option C?
He did.
And did he say, if those options don't work, I don't give a fuck? Did he say that?
Yes, he did.
Then you got to do what you got to do because I need this real bad.
That's what he said.
So at this point, are you on the hook thinking this is a solicitation for capital murder case?
At this point, I believe that he committed the offense, yes.
Okay. You believe he committed the offense?
Correct.
Why do you continue conversing with him?
To gather more intelligence, more evidence.
Okay.
The problem is, I need to touch it. I'm black belt, I don't know the body. I also always watching him and I also played with sports. So I hit her. She had a fucking hospital. I can't touch her. We did have a 2.5-year, 3-year relationship. I just would, because I'm a doctor. If it has to happen, but I don't think it has to happen. I think she'll listen.
Okay.
You talked to her. I wasn't there. So,
But again, like I told you, I can't listen.
well, we didn't listen because the DA got involved.
Like you said, the thing is that you have to. The up to you at the end of the day that you're the presence of the whole time. I mean, you make it very clear, but it's fine. If she doesn't listen this time, then she has severe consequences.
Okay, does that tell her, look, it's up to you at the end of the day, it's your option of hurting someone. It's your option the whole time.
Yes, he did.
And does Leon respond with, I think you make it very clear to her that if she doesn't leave, there are going to be severe consequences.
Yes, he did.
What did you take severe consequences to mean?
Death.
Oh, yeah, we're good, thank you.
You get the feeling that you can
We'll take care of it.
Again, be sure no matter what happens, and your decision.
But the thing is at the end of the day, I'm still it's just fucking easy. I want to expedite all this shit. I have them delay the case today, the misdemeanor case is delayed the 6th at the 23rd at the first following year. But as soon as this is done, I'll expect it fucking I'll have them expedited until the end of next week or the week after. And if she doesn't shoot, whatever occurs, we have to come and shoot it. And I think that if you're what he says, that shouldn't be a fucking just explain it. You're going to need people who you love. That's to me the biggest intimidation. People don't care about themselves so much, they care about their love.
Okay.
To me, a rational human being, which clearly none of us are here, a rational human being would listen to a very good rational listen. You have no idea. You gotta raise my elder. She said that she's not, that's not animal. So,
That's why,
yeah, they left her alone. And, the thing is, there's no other man who's that wasn't the case. So she's only these girls are lower middle class girls.
Jenny?
These girls are lower middle class girls. Theater for like 2 years on stage. Now she got a college teaching degree is beyond me. But Pittsburgh Steelers. And by the way, that's a long story. It's been sending me medication legally for 2 years for my blood pressure. Jen got PWI. She has suspended driver's license. She somehow got it Charles sold it for whatever. She drives around illegally all the time. These guys, they don't have a fucking leg to stand on.
Yeah, we can work it.
at the end of the day, like I said, we've been digging and I just the best thing
I prefer knowing because I'm a nice guy. Just she doesn't go and we can talk about the magnitude of that decision, just let me know. But I don't see It's emergency, bank accounts, clothes, hands, utensils. You, I think what happened was the FDA Office for Protection without stopping charge gave you some confidence.
You understand there's just no 100% guarantee with that.
I don't 100% guarantee because you know this is good. Do whatever we have to do to make it go away.
Okay, so why are you telling him you understand that there's just no 100% guarantee?
I want to see what he's going to say next. I want to see if he'll open up more.
And does he tell you the only 100% guarantee is we'll do whatever we have to do to make it go away?
Yes, ma'am.
So to you, does that mean all options are on the table?
Everything's open, yes.
Emails go a very long way.
So, let me explain to you this. I spent on what you told me. You said the other guy, so he's an expert, and he will be, and he said basically whatever. So, at the end of the day, it's going to be your answer, and you're going to do it. You got to be ads, you got to be just take care of the business. Just take care of business.
I don't have a better alibi than this. I don't have a doctor who I look at. I don't have a better alibi.
Okay. And you're going to New York, correct?
That's
good.
I prefer to so I would have a trip in 3 days. But if you want to hold it for a couple days and I leave,
We could do that.
yeah, we're going to buy. She's going with $1. I'm leaving on Saturday. I'm going to buy tickets today. I'm going to go for 50 days. But really, as good as you are, we need your judgment.
Like I said, he does what he wants to do. You know, what I'm saying is like he's better than he has resources better than I do. I mean, he's a specialist, you know, and that's the only way I trust him. That's the only way I trust him. And I never, because you're my friend, that's the only reason I introduced you to him. And I would never do something like that. And I told you that I would never introduce you to anybody from my, you know, or anybody that I know. But this time, I'm doing this as a favor to you, so you decide, and we will work.
I told him that I needed an emails today or tomorrow or Friday because that will also be a help.
Emails, no text messages?
Texts are problem with texts is I have to she has a new phone, so she's texting. She emails me too because I don't have to open it.
Is there anything, maybe she calls you a name or something, like, so that it'll be recognized that it's from her?
Well, I'll see the email. I mean, I'll see it.
Well, I know the email will have her email address, but something.
I used to call it chipmunk. So you can say, love you, you know, I miss you calling me chipmunk or something like that. I just say, hey, I love you. It's easy. At the same time, you know, what happened with black abortion, recognize you with love, you say, love Meg. And what I'll do is I won't open it. And you have her email, so I won't open it. I'll have my lawyer open it. I'll call my lawyer and say, hey, listen, I got you. I don't want to open it. Here's my login information. So my lawyer will go to court and say, this girl's emailing me. It looks like she's trying to trap me. One of the client lawyer is in my worst interest as far as everybody else is concerned, but it's not my worst interest. Because if she tries to entrap me by contacting me, it destroys her credibility. I let that happen on purpose.
Is she carrying any weapons, do you know?
Her?
Yes.
No. She used to have a gun license, but she doesn't have one now. She's got no weapons. She's little. 5'2", 112 pounds. I mean, the truth of the matter is, she said I grabbed her face and yelled to her. Valerie, she used to let me slap on her ass when it's sex. She's bruised. She's very fair skinned. I couldn't touch that girl.
So, what if when I'm trying to talk to her, things go the wrong way? She tries to, maybe she got a gun now.
She doesn't have a gun.
Maybe she pulls out a knife,
She doesn't.
a pepper spray. What if she starts screaming, starts acting up?
That's a possibility.
So,
What do you do? I don't know. That's your specialty. I don't know what to do that. Inject or something. Sure. But it's okay, no.
okay, you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay. What if I have to shut her up then? If I have to just make sure she doesn't ever talk again? I'm not going to risk myself either.
That's weird.
There's always a possibility.
I don't want that, but I want this paperwork. I went too hard for the last 20 years in education to get myself coming out of this. He's trying to cause problems for us with this problem I have. He's been threatening us non-stop. We'll take care of that.
Okay, let's talk about this portion, because there's a couple things said in this portion that are important. Does he talk to you about how he's worked, he says, I don't want that, but I worked too hard the last 20 years in education to get myself where I am to have this bite me in the butt in everything I worked for.
Yes, ma'am.
Does, at some point in this portion of the conversation, does he turn to Valerie's ex-husband?
He did.
And does he tell you he needs to go?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a fucking piece of shit. He raped her. He's trying to cause problems for us with this problem I have. He's been threatening her nonstop. You need to take care of that.
Yes, ma'am.
He said that.
Yes, I believe he also added that he doesn't care what happens to him.
Okay.
I was briefed a little bit about that.
Some bitch needs to fucking shut the fuck up. Him, I don't mind what you're gonna do that.
So there, is that what you're talking about when he says him? I don't know. I don't mind what you do to him. He's one of the worst human beings.
Yes, it was.
The worst human being in my entire life. I mean, he raped the shit out of her twice.
That's a disgrace.
And he abused her in a way that, trust me, I've had people come in the hospital, trust her, people that are rapist, or on purpose, did to her.
When he says, look, he's trying to cause problems with a problem I have, what did you know what he was talking about at that point?
No, ma'am.
Okay, later on, did you figure out what he was talking about?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Unimaginable. I've never met a human being like her ex. I've met some pretty bad people. Well, he's using this situation with me to cause further abuse to her.
Well, I'll be really frank with you. I can't guarantee you that she's not going to end up dead because I don't know how she will react. And I cannot let myself be put in that position.
I understand. But he can't come back. I think he can come back to me.
Well, that's why I was...
Her and I have a nice life plan.
Okay, you talk to him and you say, look, I want to be frank with you. She may not come back alive. Why do you say that?
I said that because at this point, in my belief, the investigation's been made already. The case he's already committed the offense where he solicited me for murder. So I could be a little bit more frank now. And I wanted to see his response.
And does he respond after you tell him, like, look, I don't know that she's going to be able to come back alive, just to say, I understand, but it just can't come back to me.
Yes, he did.
So for him, he understood option C was on the table.
Correct.
Well, trust me, I don't. My life's not as probably as great as yours, but I don't want it to be messed up.
Everybody's everybody's happy in my life. I finally found my life peace. It's taken me a long time. When my dad dropped dead when I was 13 years old, I was on the line. I haven't been at peace since I met her.
Because we can always make it look like a robbery. Take her car, dump it in an apartment complex. I don't know if she wears jewelry. Take her jewelry, take her phone.
Jewelry she's got it. Like, this is stuff I gave her. She's a nice necklace that I gave her. It's a little diamond necklace.
Well, I wouldn't keep any of it. It would all be incinerated immediately.
It's not that. It's not going to lose a couple $1,000.
Her phone would be incinerated, destroyed. Her car would be put in an apartment complex, left there somewhere, not to be found for later. But I mean, the decision's yours.
I prefer for that not to happen. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so does he tell you again, like, I prefer for that not to happen?
He did.
But does he follow it up with, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and how was he saying that when he said it to you?
I believe he was saying exactly what he said. I prefer not to happen, but if you have to, do it.
But we want all this.
And how about her ex?
I want her ex to him. It's her decision. Him, I don't mind. He is one of the worst human beings I ever met. I've met some pretty bad people.
I've been briefed a little on him. But what? I need a little bit more intel.
He's a horrible. He is a classic pathological narcissist. Yeah, my mother was her divorce attorney. I was one of the best divorce attorneys in the country. And the man actually said in open court, I don't have knowledge. I don't have credentials, but I have knowledge. He just thinks he's the. I've been actually responding to his emails for her because he's such a difficult cookie to deal with. He's calming himself down a little bit because I've been writing him back. It's from her. If you meet him, you're gonna want to do what you want to do so that you meet him. That's the only way I can put it. Try to fuck my sister. It was, my mom and my sister lived with my emergency basket goes in Dallas, and they were living next door. I was living next door. He tried to sleep with my sister 4 or 5 times. And he finally, my sister finally told him, if you fucking talk to me again, you're gonna have problems. And he was sleeping with half of their friends' wives. Guys, he's cheating on his present girlfriend, alright? He's a son of a bitch. Never met a worse human being.
Well, the worst thing would be for something to happen that you guys didn't want to happen. Because, I mean, he is the father of your child. I don't know if it's a word, but so if you guys, I need to be really clear on what you want with him.
That's up to her. I told her, I lived through losing a father when I was 13 years old. My brother was 9, my sister was 12. Actually, our friend here, who's become a good friend of ours, wanted to do that just because he deserves it, and I've asked him not to because of the girl, who I really care for, the little girl. Now, if something were to happen to him, I'll adopt her. But it's up to her. It's not to me.
It's your option.
It's her option.
I told you from the beginning, it's your option. Everything's on the table and it's your choice at the end of the day. It's never.
I'll adopt a little girl because I love her. She's adorable.
Why is that?
He's going to be alive. never got to college either. He's her. I'm not so worried about her not listening this time. He is gonna be a problem.
What would you guys like with him? What would you like with him?
The what?
The one who was with the father. The engineers are.
You talking about the Navy SEAL?
Yeah.
You said that's from her part.
Yeah, I know.
You're talking about her, but I'm talking about. He's asking you about. Like,
I understand. She wants it. I have no part in it. I know what I would like with him, but it's not my decision at all. It's hers. You should see the fucking emails he's been sending the last 5 days. He won't stop. Without me, without his money, clinic, it's $1.2 million from her out of his company he built. That's what she paid me for her divorce. I mean, she almost bankrupted herself because of that asshole who thought that he owned a clinic. He almost short. Trust me, I can get very upset about this because this guy is. And she's a punk. But this guy is still using her 8 months after they got divorced. Continues daily.
You know, it's just, this isn't like in the movies. This is
I understand.
real life, and things get dirty.
We get that. I don't think it's going to get dirty. You got a problem.
What?
Okay, so why do you tell him like this isn't like the movies?
One of the reasons I brought that up is because they asked me about the 3-day virus. The
Okay.
3-day virus it's something that I've only seen in the movies. It's where you inject somebody with a virus and they die 3 days later. And I just wanted to let him know, or let them both know that, in real life, people don't die like that. People they die being murdered.
And did Leon indicate to you, like, I understand that?
Yes, he did.
Did the defendant say, look, we get that, but with her, I don't think it's going to get dirty. With him, you got a problem.
Yes, he did.
So is he talking openly to you about Mac and Megan?
Yes.
It's your choice. You just need to give me the objective now.
The thing is, like, where's your mind at? You keep on saying
That's her
hair.
choice.
No, I'm talking about like when you say good hair. She needs to leave. Well, if she doesn't, what's the more?
There is no fucking I think she'll go. I really do.
Okay, and if she doesn't,
The line gets moved. To Z.
Okay, so you talked to him and Zach talked to him about where the line's at?
Correct.
And do you ask him does Zach ask him where the line is at?
Zach asked him, yes.
And is his response, there is no fucking line, I think she'll go, I really do?
Yes, it was.
And does Zach say, well, what if she doesn't?
He did.
And did the defendant respond, well, then the line gets moved?
Yes, he did.
So does that indicate to you that if she won't go, if she won't leave, then option C is on the table?
Any option, yes.
And does he fact in that portion of the conversation by saying, then it goes to Z?
Correct.
And what did you take that to mean?
Well, to me, C is the final letter in the alphabet, so it's the end, death.
I think that she will go because it's really clear to her when she doesn't get her points and so on and so forth, or got problems, she'll go. Fucker won't stop. I mean, he's got my mother's been after him, and she's one of the best close friends in the country. He still won't stop.
So what do you want done with him?
It's not my choice.
There's no guarantee.
They're asking me questions. I have to do a couple of things with it. One, they're a wine. Yeah, it's like, talk about wine. That's up to you. Also, if you have a brain, it's not my choice. It's very tasty.
Of course, there'd be an additional fee for that.
Well, yeah, my thing stays here, we understand. So, I'm just being if you have to do that, he needs to go fucking out. He's not only being her, he's using his daughter. There's a little innocent girl here that's being my kids. I also think about my ex-wife when you see my children now, this is all this bullshit.
Does he indicate to you that his ex-wife is now keeping his kids from him because of all this bullshit?
Yes,
Okay. And did he seem upset to you when he said that?
he was very upset.
I've seen her 2 weeks in Chicago. Like, there are 3 little kids that are being affected here. Because her and I provide a very nice life for all 3 of them, but with this shit, with her, it's just one of the worst things ever in my life.
What's your ex's name? Mac? Mary? Mary.
I never got animated about nice girl. You've seen that I've been very calm the whole time. This man.
Yes, thank you.
This man is a like I said, I met a lot of people in my life, medicine, just in general. This man is the worst human being I've ever met. The fact that he does what he does to her, my mother can't stop it because my mother's tried through the legal system, but he won't stop. My mom's fucking good at what she does. She's the best there is in divorce law in other countries. One of the best. She can't get it stopped. And I have to watch her go through this every other day. The email, the fucking texts, the abuse that he just continually puts on her. He thinks he's being nice, but he's just a piece of shit. I can take care of myself, the problem is it'll come right back to me.
It's up to you.
It's up to her. I have a cigarette at home if you want to do that. I just, please, just, we'll get the good one.
This one. It's up on the
You need to talk to her without working the day. Probably.
We got. I want you to talk to her alone.
You want to talk to him? You want to talk to him, Alec? Talk to him, and I'll talk to you. And she's a doctor, right?
Yeah,
you said you called her doctor? Okay.
That's right.
No, just go this way. You talk to her. Oh, you want the cartridge just in case? I don't remember your name. Valerie.
Okay, so at this point in the conversation, where does the defendant go?
The defendant told me he wanted me to talk to her alone, and he walked outside along with Zach.
So did that leave you at the table alone with Valerie?
It did.
Did he make a point to let you know that he was going to step away from the table at that point?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I heard him call you doctor, so, and yeah, you were wearing scrubs. Okay, so, it's kind of hard to talk when there's only a picture, so, what exactly do you want? Just be frank, yeah. Exactly what you want.
I either want to just leave me alone. I know, like tonight, picking my daughter up from class and taking her to supper. And I know that it's going to bring up if Leon's at the house. Threatening to start legal action if Leon was at the house. To try to take my daughter away from me. I want that to stop. Leave me alone.
Well, you tell me what you want. I would. Sad trust you guys completely, and I trust him. So, I mean, you tell me exactly what you want, and we'll take care of it.
Let's say if something would happen to him, would it be like a car wreck
It could be the same thing. It could be a car wreck. It could be a robbery gone wrong. It could be we can always stage a burglary in this house on the day that your daughter won't be there. You see, carjacking. Make it look like a robbery going wrong. The same thing, just take his possessions.
And that fish have allergic to people?
Well, he doesn't want it to happen to her.
Okay, so she asked, you tell her, look, we'll do the same thing, we can make it look like a carjacking, and what's her response?
She asked me, wouldn't that be an issue that this happens to two people?
And why do you respond with, well, he doesn't want it to happen?
I'm trying to gauge her response. Maybe now that he's out of the picture, maybe now that the defendant's gone out of the picture, she might be more willing to talk. She might say something else.
Well, did you believe when you told her, well, he doesn't want it to happen to her, did you believe that the defendant didn't want Megan to be dead?
No.
Okay.
I knew he did.
So again, why did you say that to Valerie then?
Just to get a response from her, see what she would say.
Okay.
Do you want to go? Okay. But your ex, you want him dead. Once we agree to this, there's no going back. But from what you told me, there's no control.
Can't make a second, I can just
Does that sound okay to you? It's just, we'll take his car, dump it somewhere where it won't be found anytime soon, put a bullet in his head, make him go away forever. It's your decision, Valerie. There'd be an additional minimum 10,000 if you agree to that. Could you afford that?
Yeah, not all at once.
Okay.
Can't
Yeah,
take it out.
sure. No.
It's
Definitely not all at once.
Rare is bleeding.
not even worth trying to make him.
Rare, mid-rare, medium. Medium well.
Whatever you feel comfortable with, you let me know.
I want to help.
Exact copy of the record.
Mistake he does.
A buy, but you don't think that. Have you dealt with people like him before, total narcissist, and it doesn't work?
How about you?
It's obvious. He's very upset by all of this. And I know what he wants because he just told me. But it's what you want.
I don't want to get in trouble though.
If you get in trouble, I get in trouble. Nobody's gonna get in trouble. And this is what we do. This is what we've done before.
He goes out with his boat all the time, he's in a boating house.
It's completely your decision. Do you want him dead?
Too much stuff, he got sick, he died.
Well, of course, this is all what you want. I mean, I won't move anything until you tell me what you want. And if you're asking me, are you asking me how I would do it? So, be as easy as following him when he's by himself. Put a bullet in his head, make sure he's dead, take him out. What does he drive, a car, a truck?
SUV.
SUV, what kind of SUV?
Land Cruiser.
Land Cruiser.
Newer.
Take his car, leave him on the street, make sure he's dead, maybe put another bullet in his head. We call that a double tap. Dump his truck in one of these shithole apartment complexes that are all over the city. It won't be found for a while. They'll take his wallet, take his phone. Everything will be incinerated immediately. Said this is going to be on fire. They'll think it was a robbery. And, you'll need to make sure that you're in a good place, a public place. And be $10,000. I understand you can't pay on at once. That's smart. But you need to give him the go-ahead. You want to do that? There's no going back. That's okay.
It's gonna take my daughter.
When can you make the first payment?
So you asked her when she can make the first payment towards the killing of Mac?
I did.
And what's her response to that?
I believe she said that they've moved too much money around, and that she'd have to pay me in payments. I think $5,000 on two different
So she indicated
cases.
to you that she couldn't pay it all at once?
Correct.
And did she also indicate to you that before she could make the first payment, she needed to talk to Leon?
Correct.
Okay.
And you have to let me know whenever your daughter's with you.
She's gonna be with me for she's gonna be this week, next week, and next.
This week, next weekend? Oh, so
When we get back from New York, she's gonna spend a couple days with him.
okay.
I do it back on Wednesday. She's gonna be with him from Thursday to Sunday. And she'll be with
She's decided that she wants her ex to be gone. So it will be a charge of $10,000. She brought up a good point, so it won't look so suspicious. It doesn't have to be all paid at once. Yes, I trust you. But there will be a $10,000 fee. It'll be robbery. She says she drives a new 4Runner, a Land Cruiser.
When you say she's decided that she wants her ex to be gone, who are you saying that to?
To the defendant.
Okay, has he come back inside with Zach?
Yes, I have.
And at any time does he say, I don't think that's a good idea?
No,
Don't
he
do
did
it?
not. No.
And when she starts talking to you about what kind of vehicle Mac drives, does he even clarify to make sure that she is the right vehicle for Mac?
Yes.
Brand new Land Cruiser, carjacked him, put a gun in his head, throw him on the street, make sure he's gone, make sure he's dead for sure. And then just park his truck in one of the apartment complexes, one of the shitty apartment complexes. When can I expect the first payment? And Zach would probably take the money, or I could take the money.
So you asked the defendant, when can I expect the first payment? And Zach would probably take the money, or I can take the money. Does the defendant respond, I can give you $2,500 a week for 4 weeks. That's probably the best and the easiest.
Yes.
So is the defendant agreeing to pay you for the murder of Mac McDaniel?
Yes, he is.
And does he indicate he's going to do so by paying you in installments?
He does.
I got everything.
Where does he live?
But if we have his phone.
Everything is done.
He lives with his mom over in Heaven Village, or he lives down in Tupi.
Okay, as long as I can get an address, I'm not too familiar with Houston. After this is done, I'm gone. And the only person that probably know how to find me will be Zach, which I'll stay clear of him for a little while.
And at that point, too, there's a choice and concern. Zach's hoping to be specifically for that. That's not the way he wanted to go. And he doesn't want, he's in it to take care of the whole situation. But if she doesn't go, then you just make a judgment call. Alright?
Okay, so is the defendant continuing to talk to you about option A, B, and C?
Yes.
And when referring to option C, does he say, look, if she's not going to go, then you make a judgment call, all right?
Correct.
And do you agree to make that judgment call?
I do.
And to you, what does that judgment call mean? What options are available to you if she agrees not to go?
To kill her.
Do you have any of the, what did you say, you called it something? To inject. The syringe to inject something. Maybe I could inject it. I told her, everybody needs to understand that once we're done from here, there's no going back. Is that okay with you? I mean, he's pretty much gonna be there.
That's fine. Like I said,
No.
Okay, so why do you give them and tell them, look, this is the point of no return. Once we go past this, you can't turn around, you can't take it back. Why are you saying that?
I'm giving them a final chance to say, never mind. We don't want to do this, or, that's not what I want to do. If we're going to do this, let's walk away.
Do they say that?
No, ma'am.
Does the defendant say, you know what, I've thought about this, I don't like it, I'm done?
No, he said that's fine, that he understood.
Okay.
No.
give it to her. Whatever the fuck she wants is fine. I'm gonna marry her. And I want to have our lives right. This son is using the fuck out of her. He's trying to use me to do it. That I can't. So it's up to her. Whatever she told you is what she told you. It's not my choice, it's yours.
Do you know the address to where he lives?
In Houston?
As far as the money goes, I'll pay Zach. That's right.
So does he say, as far as the money goes, the defendant's saying this, as far as the money goes, I'll pay Zach and then he can give it to you?
Correct.
So if a person pays you to kill another person, is that solicitation to commit capital murder?
Yes, it is.
So he's agreeing to give you money in order that you kill Mac McDaniel, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you have a pen on you?
I don't.
Just write it down for me. You have a picture? You can maybe send it to Zach.
Yeah.
You have
Facebook.
Facebook?
It's everything. You ask if he's gonna put pictures of his daughter on Facebook. You know they have a narrow agreement. He's just cool.
So you want to put his name on Facebook?
Whatever. No, I want also didn't think that further
So make
she was before the weekend. She was.
so make a judgment call. I'll call you. I mean, I'll have to let him know, and he'll call you from there. Because okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of food.
There's
I think that she wants to do what you have to do. As far as you're concerned, whatever she asks you to do, that's not my fault.
as far as for her, from what I was told, there's still a payment.
What?
For her, there's still a payment left.
Yeah.
$5,000.
After everything's done.
After it's
Okay. We moved too much
Around.
right now
Can I get a box?
to not be. We have a joint account between the two of us. This is what I use for my business, but it's been too much in and out right now to. But it's okay. He's our friend. Take care.
Yeah, trust me. I trust.
Okay, so is the defendant continuing to speak to you about payment
Yes, ma'am.
and talking about he still owes Zach $5,000?
Correct.
Why does he indicate that they're slow to pay?
Because they've already made a lot of payments.
And does he indicate, like, we've moved a lot of money around, we share a joint account, but it'll be suspicious if I take more than that right now?
Correct.
Okay.
Told you outside. He's done a lot for me.
He's getting my computers back.
He never actually gave me that kind of compliment.
Besides,
You can give me kisses.
besides the computers, everything he's got for more than compensates where you're at. But you better
I'm good. I don't want
I need the computer back. The computer engineer
I gotta have time to it, man. You know?
shouldn't take this long. You're supposed to be the engineer.
You not taking yours?
No, what was that? Thank you.
I'll get to it.
Yeah, actually, I guess we could take that. Yes, thank you.
Can we have use my computer by the weekend?
I'll try to work
Okay.
on it. I'll try to work on it as soon as I can. Just
Yeah, I
just take it step by step.
But the computer I need back because I need to go back to my research, my friend.
That's your.
With that damn, with that virus I got, I don't know what it was. I was looking at too much porn. Sorry, Dave. You were watching with me, so this is fine.
If I have time, I will do it as soon as I can.
For other years. That's why I
You
like
guys
the
are
porn.
a bundle
That's
of
why I like the porn. You saw me at a pool game.
The pool game will go on.
Hey, it should go on. Still,
Yeah.
You're trying to hustle. Kung Fu Hustler.
Chocolate gold.
We got lunch. Brenner.
Supper.
Brenner.
Supper.
Is it Brenner?
Supper.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Brenner, right?
Supper.
No, it's no, it's Leonard. Lunch/dinner.
I'm getting.
That's my last meal. Larry, nice to meet you.
No, 100%. Can we call it a Leonard?
We'll be in contact.
Hi, darling.
You have my, do you have my number?
No.
Here. You probably want this one.
1 second. Okay, what is it?
It's 832
Mm-hmm.
270
279?
270.
Oh, 279, okay.
These are boundaries, so.
1298.
Okay, does the defendant provide a phone number to you?
He does.
And what kind of phone does he indicate it is?
He told me it was a burner phone.
Okay, and so is that why it took him a second to indicate to you what number it was?
Yes.
Judge, may I approach the witness? I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked for identification purposes only. It states exhibit 47 and 48. Do you recognize this photograph?
I do.
Okay, and what is that?
This is a picture of my cell phone provided to me by the Houston Police Department.
Okay, and does this indicate Leon as a contact in your phone,
I saved his name under Leon. Yes.
and then the phone number there?
Correct.
Okay, And now I want to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 48. Do you recognize that to be a download of the front page of a report of that phone number?
Yes, ma'am, an extraction report.
Okay. And at this time, State offers State's Exhibits 47 and 48, and I'll tender to opposing counsel for any objections.
No objection, Your Honor.
That's 47, 48 are in there.
Who paid for the meal that day?
The defendant did.
Okay. Okay, and does that conclude your time at the Olive Garden with him?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So after you leave the Olive Garden, do you believe that you have a good case against both Leon Jacob and Valerie McDaniel?
Yes, I do.
Objection, Your Honor, that's for a jury to determine, and we object to that question and the response.
Assistant, you can rephrase.
Why didn't you stop the investigation at that point?
We never stop, especially these types of investigations. We never stop just where as soon as the evidence is gathered, as soon as the case is made, we make it a point to gather more evidence, to go the distance with it, and just to kind of like seal the case in, like a seal tight case.
So at this point, are you aware that both Megan Verikis and Matt McDaniel are in safe places?
At this point,
Yes.
no,
Okay. At some point in y'all's investigation, do y'all have them go to safe places?
we do.
Okay. Do you continue making telephone calls and arrangements and having contact with the defendant in this case?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I want to go now to the night of March the 8th. So that's the night after you've had lunch at Olive Garden. Going into that evening, do you receive a phone call from the defendant?
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry, do you receive a phone call from him? Are you able to answer the phone at that time?
No, I missed it.
Okay, so do you return his call?
I did.
And is that what we're going to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Hello, Leon?
Yeah,
Hey, I just I saw your text. What happened?
yeah, that motherfucker abducted the daughter.
He abducted her? He kidnapped her?
He won't let her, he won't give her back. She's right over there in the police.
Okay. She's headed over there with the police?
Yeah, she called the cops. He won't bring her back.
Okay. She's not gonna talk, right?
No, hell no. Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
No. I mean, me and her on the level here. We just want these two situations taken care of immediately.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I need you to let me know who has the kid.
We're
Okay.
gonna have the kid tonight.
You'll have her tonight?
Yeah, my mom's involved. It'll be fine.
Okay. If you can have him tonight, if you can have the kid tonight, this way she won't be in the way, and I can get him out of the picture real quick.
But whatever you gotta do, in any other situation, we'll deal with the next couple of days.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Let
I
me.
mean, I want that taken care of ASAP too. But this has gotta be fucking fixed.
Yeah. No, we'll take care of it.
Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. I could tell, obviously. Okay. I'll talk to Zach. At least you start. I'll need the $2,500 payment.
Just get it done. You'll get the payment.
Okay. Okay, Leon.
Alright,
I'll talk.
I will do. He's got $15,000 in collateral from us. Besides what we've already given him. He's
Okay.
got a ring, $600. He's got 2 watches that are worth already. So it's not a problem. That's money.
Okay, sounds good. I'll talk to you real soon.
Yeah. As far as the girl goes, like I said, I don't want to hurt. If that has to be, and it has to be, but I prefer to just leave.
Okay, sounds good. Do you know the ex-husband? Is he Marion, whatever his name is he at the Hackberry address?
Yeah, 9.5 Hackberry.
That's where he is? Okay.
That's where he lives. There with his parents.
Okay.
He's a piece of shit. He's fucking 53 or 50 years old and fucking lives with his parents. Who the fuck does that?
Well, I agree. Let me talk to Zach really quick, and then I'll contact you back as soon as possible.
Yes. No, just decide herself. As far as my situation goes, you can have that fixed by the weekend. That'd be great.
No problem. Let me talk to him.
All right, thank you. I don't have Zach's number because we communicate via a secret email. But I mean,
This is a burner phone. Like this phone that I have, it's gonna be taken care of. So no problem.
So this, what I'm calling you on, as soon as you're done with what you're doing, you give me your old phones, and they'll be incinerated in Valley's clinic.
Okay, we can do that.
I mean, just give me your phone, and it'll be incinerated in the sharps containers.
Is that used for the animals?
No, it's used for needles, that kind of stuff, in the
Okay.
hospital. But she has her own hospital clinic. You know, her clinic is it's a pharmacy. It's also like a hospital for animals. They incinerate all the sharps.
Oh, I
They
see.
get put into like the red bucket,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes into an autoclave. They get incinerated. So when this is all done in the next few days, you just give me your phone, just phone whatever phones we need, and they'll be incinerated. It'll be gone forever.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate that, Leon.
Yeah, they get there, and I'll give you my regular cell number if you ever need to contact me again, but or you ever need any help for medical reasons, you let me know. But as far as these phones go, they're gonna get put into an incinerator. They'll be melted down into nothing.
Okay, hey, I didn't. That sounds great to me. I didn't get to ask Valerie at the time because there was too many people, but I guess I could ask you. Is there? When we've done this in the past, people have requested messages or they requested certain action. Some people want their target to get hit. Shot 10 times in the head or something. Personal reasons. Do you want something?
Whatever you and Valerie discussed, I don't want to be. Whatever she asked you is fine with me. I just, she needs to talk me and Zach left so that you guys can talk.
Okay. So no personal message from you to him or anything?
No. What I really need for myself is the emails, and I
Yes.
want her to know.
Yeah, we're taking care of those emails. We're thinking of a way now.
As far as whatever you and Valerie discussed, that's between you and Valerie. I mean, I'm going to marry the girl in a couple months, but that's between the two of you because we have a difference of opinion about that. But given what's going on tonight, whatever she told you is following me.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't need to know about it. It's her decision.
Okay, sounds great. Let me call Zach and see if we can move this forward a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. As far as my situation goes, I prefer that no one gets hurt. I just want her to leave, and I want my legal problems to go away. But, I told you what...
That's
clear. You know what I'm talking about.
That's clear.
So,
Roger. I understand.
And you let me know when you need it. That has to happen.
Roger that.
Alright, but I want this shit dealt with ASAP because this has been going on now for fucking 2 months. It needs to stop.
Roger that.
The situation with Valerie. My situation, sucks. We'll call her, and I thought I'm marry that girl, whatever it is, it is. But what this guy's doing to her, it's just not right.
Yeah, it's definitely not right.
He's a fucking piece of shit. He lived off of her for 20 years. She's the brain. She had the clinic. He made all the money. He actually paid himself a higher salary. He cheated on her about 25 times. That motherfucker had, he had multiple girlfriends that he was paying for apartments for. Well, they were together. That she was paying for, but he was paying, through their bank account was paying for. I mean, she's like the nicest person in the goddamn world, and then he raped her twice.
Wow. Yeah.
She went to the police. She didn't want the charges pressed because he's the father
copy that.
It's just not fucking right. You don't fucking do that to women.
I agree.
I mean, it's why it's so upsetting. My ex-girlfriend claims that I hit her, I didn't fucking touch her. And trust me, if I did, my mother would have put her in jail and never, you just don't do that shit to women. He fucking raped her twice.
Yeah, I copy. No, we'll take care of it soon, and let me talk to Zach.
Yeah, I want to keep you abreast of what's going on because, you're involved in this now. I want you to know that
I appreciate
you're
that.
over there with the police. He has technically abducted her, the child.
I appreciate that. The more intelligence I have, that's going to make my job easier. But you have my number. If you need anything, please give me a call.
I'm sorry. I know. I appreciate you telling me that, but I let you know because I wanted you to be very aware of what's happening. I mean, I was worried as earlier. I wanted her to go pick her up, but she asked him to take her to soccer practice because we were having, a business meeting.
Right.
And he is now refusing to give her back, which is deception.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, the child should be back here in about 30 minutes.
Okay, can you confirm with me through a text or something?
I'll text you or I'll call you.
Okay, thank you, Leo.
All right.
Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about that phone call. So that occurs just a couple hours after the evening of your late lunch at the Olive Garden, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when he says that Valerie allowed Mac to pick up their daughter because we were having a business meeting, is he referencing the lunch that you all had together?
Correct.
Calling it a business meeting?
Correct.
Did he talk to you about communicating with Zach in that phone call?
Yes.
And how he communicated with Zach?
Yes, he did. I believe it was some type of an email system where they would email each other.
You recall him saying, I don't have Zach's number because we communicate via his secret email?
Correct.
Okay. And then you talked to him about your phone being a burner phone. Did he indicate to you that he was also using a burner phone?
Yes.
And what did he offer to do to you when you were done in the next few days with what you had to do?
He wanted me to give it to him where he would have it destroyed at Valerie's clinic.
And he offered to incinerate them for you, right?
Correct.
When he talks to you about whatever Valerie said she wants to happen to Mac, it's fine with me. Whatever you discussed with Valerie is fine with me. Was he there when you told him what Valerie wanted to have happen to Mac?
Yes, he was.
So when he's saying whatever you and Valerie discussed, does he know what you and Valerie discussed?
He does.
Is that because you told him?
Call for a conclusion on what he knew or did not know at the time this conversation occurred between he and Valerie.
Sustain it, restate it.
Was the defendant standing next to you when you said she wants to have her husband killed?
Yes.
And did he acknowledge that comment when you said it to him?
Yes.
Did he respond to that?
He did.
And based on his response, did it indicate to you that he knew what you were talking about?
Yes.
He talks about, as far as his situation goes, that he says, I prefer this problem to go away, but you know what I'm talking about. Does that
Correct.
indicate to you that all options are still on the table?
Correct.
A, B, and C.
Yes.
And did he tell you that if you had to do option C, he wanted you to let him know?
Yes, he did.
And did he say, I want this shit dealt with?
Yes.
Did that indicate to you some urgency in his request?
He wanted me, it indicated he wanted me to do it fast.
Later that same evening, you get another phone call from him.
Correct.
And then do you call him,
Do I call him?
or does he call you?
I believe I call him back.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Leon.
Hey.
I just saw your text message.
Yeah, dude. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Okay, you said he shoved her? It's important that it's...
Hit her.
Okay, wow. Yeah, it's important that you not get involved in any way, shape, or form
I'm not anywhere near there.
so that you...
I'm stuck out.
Okay, good. This way later on they can't try to say, oh, well, he was here the day before, he was here 2 days before.
No, I didn't go anywhere. She's here by herself, just waiting for the cops to show up.
Okay, I just
And
talked to...
evidently her father, he, like, shoved her and hit her.
Okay, I just talked to Zach right now. We're gonna see, once you confirm, we might have to meet up with you either tomorrow or Friday. You're leaving Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really want to get everything taken care of before then, because if I have to get involved, then, you know, I need to be here. But, as far as this goes, whatever she told you, it's fine with me.
Okay, what day are you coming back?
Wednesday.
Okay, we'll take care of it. If you hear anything else, just give me an update and,
Yeah, I'll let you know because get back tonight. My mom is involved right now, so, like I said, my mom, her divorce attorney, and she's the best in the business. She sent over the sheriff who's meeting them now. So we should have, or Valerie should have the child back tonight.
okay, just confirm with me, please, because that's gonna be of the utmost importance.
Oh, of course. Nothing can happen with the child around.
Absolutely not.
And as far as my situation goes, the thing is, if my situation goes away, then this situation goes away as well, besides whatever you and Valerie talked about. Because they're both linked. That's the problem.
Roger, no problem. Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, I don't know if it's or not, but I trust Zach, Luck on that very well.
Okay, that's clear.
But, by the way, I know his real name, but that's okay.
That's clear. You understand we just have to take precautions.
What?
You just understand that you understand we're just taking
I
precautions.
understand exactly, yes.
Okay, thank you, Leo.
I told you who I was. You know, I've done work for people or government, you know. I understand exactly what we're doing. I got it.
That's clear. Just keep me updated, okay?
You're calling back. I'll let you know what happens.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
First off, Officer Duran, we hear some kids screaming in the background. What is that?
I apologize. It's for my children.
Okay. So, while you're on the phone having this conversation with the defendant, can we hear your children in the background?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's talk about that phone call. He called you to talk to you about a situation unfolding. Is this still the night of March the 8th?
It's the same night, yes.
And to you, this phone call from Leon, do you feel like things are escalating at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he indicate to you that he's going to be leaving town?
He did.
And was that something that you all had also talked about at the Olive Garden?
We did.
And did you tell him that it was important for him to have a good alibi?
Yes, I did.
And did he agree with that?
He did.
So as part of him going to New York, would that provide him with an alibi?
It would have.
But did he also indicate that as far as his situation goes, if she needed to be taken care of, then he needed to be here because he might want to be involved?
Yes.
Okay, so did that indicate to you option C is still on the table?
Yes, it is.
And did you talk to him about the importance of Natalie not being around when something happens?
Yes, I did.
And did he say, of course, nothing can happen when the child is around?
He did.
What did that indicate to you?
That he did not want Natalie to see her dad getting killed.
Did he indicate to you that he felt like his problem and Valerie's problem were connected?
He did.
And did he feel like if you took care of his problem, that it would resolve the problem that Valerie was having with her ex-husband?
Correct.
Did y'all talk about using aliases?
And during this conversation?
Like, did he talk to you about the fact that he knew what Zach's real name was?
Yes, he did mention that.
And did you hear him say, I told you who I was, I have done work for people or the government, and I understand here why we're using aliases?
Yes.
Okay, so he does not know, obviously, your real name or what you really do.
No, he does not.
And as far as he's concerned right now, he's still referring to you as A.
Correct.
Do you continue to have conversations and text messages with the defendant throughout that night?
Yes.
Okay, let's fast forward now, and let's go to Thursday, March the 9th. Are things progressing as far as your investigation goes?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Have you made contact with Megan Veracos?
Yes.
And have you made contact with a Mac McDaniel?
I personally did not, but members of my squad did.
At some point during the day of Thursday, March the 9th, did you all meet up with Megan Veracos and Mac McDaniel?
We did.
Where did y'all meet?
At the dirt lot, which is it's owned by the Houston Police property. That's where we keep vehicles that have been seized for evidence.
What was the purpose of having them meet you at that dirt lot?
It's the purpose is that it's police property, so it'd be secure. It's this way we wouldn't have anybody possibly see us there, and also we know that it's kind of like a dirty old garage where we could stage a type of murder.
And did you have both Megan and Mac stage their own death?
We had Mac stage his own death and Megan's kidnapping.
Were you present when the kidnapping of Megan was staged?
Yes, I was.
Were you able to observe her emotional state at that time?
I was.
How was Megan acting at that point?
She was hysterical, visibly shaking and crying.
Did you receive some phone calls, and did you go back and forth with the defendant via telephone conversations on that date, Thursday, March the 9th?
I did. We had several phone calls.
Okay.
On her.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm not.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm going to stop it right there. This phone call doesn't have an intro. Why would that be?
I didn't have a chance. Okay, so this conversation in particular was an incoming call from the defendant to myself. At that time, we were on police property where you may or may not hear sirens or police talk in the background, and you could hear a car door closing. I had to jump into a car so that I can stop any outside noise from being heard.
And so is that why the first part of this is not recorded?
Correct.
Once you get into your vehicle, do you start the recorder?
I start trying to start it with my other hand. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm talking about the female subject. I'm talking about the male subject.
I understand that. I don't worry about that one. It's whatever, but but you can take care of soon. They're going to deal with it soon too.
Yes, that'll be dealt with pretty soon as well. I just need to confirm that you still have the girl with you and it's not with him.
No. Valerie, got her daughter from school this morning.
Okay, just make sure.
We're keeping her out of school because we don't trust him.
Okay, I see. He might go get her over there.
Yeah, we don't trust him to not try to fuck up her spring break trips to New York City.
I see. Okay, just whatever you do, do not give him the girl because.
No. We're not. That's the whole thing is why she's staying out of school. We decided to give her 2 days extra spring break because she's been looking forward to this trip for like 2 months. And after last night, Valerie was scared that he would try to ruin that.
I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
She's going to be with us until we leave.
That's clear. Because this would be of the most importance because we're going to deal with the male subject tonight.
Yeah, I understand that. I do.
Are you able to get me some of the payment?
I can talk to her about that possibly tomorrow.
Possibly tomorrow.
Yeah, before we leave on Saturday. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and her clinic is closed. But we'll figure out something.
Okay, I mean, I really prefer it to be today, some of that payment, but that's fine. We can think of something.
Yeah, that's between you and her as far as going on with him. Like I said, you guys had a conversation. We can talk about some monetary stuff. She went to Marshall's with her to get her a bag from New York. Just give me a call a little later.
Copy.
All right.
Okay, bud.
Okay, so in this conversation, are y'all talking about payment?
Yes.
And he indicates to you that he's going to talk to Valerie, but they will figure it out together.
Correct.
Okay.
in person. Now, okay, so I'm just gonna tell you then. The issue with the girl was a different deal. This is for the guy, and I have some good news for you guys with him. But I mean, I need something. You know, this is business.
So yeah, I was business. You know, I've already given.
That was for a different thing, and I have nothing to do with that right now until I take care of the other problem. I mean, anything you have.
The original problem was her, and he's got $30,000 in cash plus a bunch of collateral, and we haven't seen anything happen yet.
He has 30,000 because that's not what he told me.
Yeah.
In cash.
Yeah, there's $25,000 in cash in collateral. I forget, but it's a lot of money, and nothing has been done with either of these things at all.
Well, my friend, this is what I was trying to tell you. I have some good news for you, but I need to meet you. I'd rather meet in person. If that's okay with you.
That's fine, but the original problem was her, and she's still the biggest problem, and nothing's been done with that at all.
Well, I can tell you that there's stuff in motion right now. That's probably all I want to say at this moment. Just trust me on this, okay? We know what the problem is, and I know who it is.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Leon, we need to meet in person. Not on the phone. Yeah.
Well, I worry about the being in person stuff because I worry about that I'm being set up to get stuck here too. But I gotta trust you guys.
Okay, well, you need to understand, from my side, I'm worried about being fucked over the phone. That's how people get caught on the phone.
I understand.
Yeah, if we do it in personal, it's just you and I.
Do you have our address?
No.
All right, it's 2200 Willowwick.
Is that an apartment?
It's 7B. I will come downstairs and get you as my friend and bring you upstairs. I cannot leave because I have Valerie and the child here, and I'm stuck here.
Okay, say no more. Say no more. If you just send me a text with your address. Yeah, send me a text with your address. I mean, if you want to tell Valerie, or I can talk to her on the phone, but, I need something, 25, you told me 25 you could do for the first payment. If it can't be the whole 25, that would be fine.
I don't have that here. I think I can do 2,000.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't.
I got that cash, but I can't get any more today.
Okay, listen, I'm trying to tell you, because I do trust you. Our friend knows you, and he trusts you, and I trust him with my life. You don't understand it, and I'm not going to go into details of what he has done for me, but I trust him. So, whatever you have, if it's not 2,000, that's fine, but let me say no more about just text me your address.
I'll text you the address.
Okay.
2200 Willowwick. I don't know where you stay at, but you get off at 59, take Wesleyan toward San Felipe. We're on the corner of San Felipe and Wesleyan.
Right. I'm not from here. I do not live in Texas. I have never lived in Texas before.
All right. I will give you the address. I'll text it to you, and I have been deleting all of our texts. Do not come in the building until you call me. I'll come downstairs and get you there. I don't want to get to sign in.
Copy.
All right.
I copy. Okay.
All right, bye.
What did you feel like Leon's tone was in this particular conversation?
A little panicked, kind of anxious to get it over with.
Was he frustrated that they hadn't seen anything happen yet?
Yes.
Did he talk about how he was concerned about meeting you in person?
Yes, he did.
And did he say, I'm worried that I'm being set up to be fucked here?
Correct.
So was he concerned about meeting with you in person?
Yes, he was.
Did he tell you that he didn't have the whole $2,000 that he had agreed to pay you, but he'd give you something?
2,000. Yes,
$2,500, excuse me?
Yes, he said he only had 2,000 with him there.
Okay. And that he couldn't get any more that day?
Correct.
Why did he not want you to have to sign in at the condo place?
Because my name would be on the sign-in sheet.
Did you have an additional phone call with him that evening?
Yes.
Hello? Hey, you going away?
No, not yet.
I got 18 here at 30. I get used a little more tomorrow, but that's all I got today.
Yeah, I just talked to our friend. He said that you're good for it. He says he knows you. You're good for it. That's fine.
Yeah, we are good for it. We're leaving on, we're talking here, we're leaving Saturday.
That's what I need you to do. That's what I need you to do.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk when we get here, but the thing is that, when we get here, we'll talk. I think I told you yesterday. Talk when we get here. All right?
That's clear. I copy.
But how long do you get to get here?
From where I'm at, maybe 30 minutes. Traffic's pretty bad, right?
Yeah, but if you can tell me where you're at, I can tell you how to get here faster.
No, I'd rather just go.
All right, well, if you're getting on 59, you can get off. If you're in the city, there's a back way to get here. If you're coming down 59, the best way is to come like either Westheimer or San Felipe or Richmond. If you're coming from the Galleria area, do not get on the highway.
Yeah, no, I'm not anywhere near the Galleria area there.
You're coming from the other way?
I'm coming from somewhere else, yeah, but not the Galleria.
That's fine. The highway's fine, but you do not want to get on 610 or 59 from the Galleria area or from downtown.
That's clear.
It's faster to take from San Felipe or Westheimer. But if you're going to come from the other direction, it won't be so bad.
Okay, I copy. I'll let you know.
It doesn't matter to me. We're not leaving here at all. So
That's clear.
we're going to be here. The three of us are going to be here all night. We're going to be here tomorrow, and then we're leaving on Saturday morning. But I like to see my friends do I leave.
I'll let him know right now.
No, I mean you.
Oh, me? Okay, that's clear.
Zach lives here. You don't live in town, so we don't get to see you very often.
I was going to let him tell you, but he's going to be leaving pretty soon, too. For at least 3 weeks and more.
Yeah, he told me yesterday.
Okay, that's clear. Copy that. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, bye.
Yep, bye.
Hey, you coming?
Yeah, I'm headed that way now.
You what?
I'm headed that way now. According to my GPS, I'll be there in about 18 minutes.
That's fine. I just want to make sure you were okay.
Yeah.
So when you get to the complex, there's a circular driveway in front. There's a gate. Just go park by go to the gate. They'll open it for you. Just park wherever you can over there, and I'll come down and bring you up. That way you want us to sign in.
Okay, I copy.
There's lots of security here at the building.
Copy that.
All right. I don't want you to have to sign.
That's clear.
All right.
I'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
With that, heading your way and making your way over to the condo.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall about what time that is on Thursday, March the 9th?
7 p.m., around there.
And are you planning on recording the conversation that you have with the defendant that night?
Yes, I am.
And so are you equipped with recording equipment that night?
I am.
When you get over to the Willowick location, are there other officers from your squad involved in this?
Yes, there are.
And what are some of the other members of your squad doing to help with your investigation at this point?
They're mostly surveillance and rescue team.
And are they set up around the Willowick location?
Yes, they are.
Describe for us what the Willowick condominiums is. Is it a building? Is it many stories? Describe for us what it's like.
It's like a mid-rise luxury apartment complex. It looks to me like a hotel. That's how I would describe it. And it's surrounded by a security gate, and it has a parking garage as well as outside parking. It's pretty secure. They have a guard that's there in the lobby area. I'm not sure if he's there 24 hours a day, but it's a secure location.
When you arrived that evening at the location, was there a guard there?
Yes.
once you arrived at the location, is Zach with you?
No, ma'am, I'm by myself.
And at this point in time, have you told the defendant where Zach is?
No, I haven't told him where he is, just that he's not going to be around.
And at this time, the state's going to offer state's exhibit number 32 and tender to opposing counsel for any objections you might have.
No objection, Judge.
State 32 admitted.
May I publish state's exhibit number 32?
And you may. How long is it?
Long. An hour?
Okay. Well, no, you may not.
Okay.
Let's take a break. Let's take a short break.